afternoon, everybody. On Positively Tampa Bay today, we're taking a closer look at the project for the St. Pete Pier. The concept of the lens by Michael Maudson Architecture and Wanamaker Jensen Architects was selected by the city earlier this year. It includes a boardwalk, an aquarium, a marina, just to name a few of the components. You're looking at architectural renderings of what the project will look like upon completion. The current pier, the inverted pyramid style, does present its challenges. And joining us in the studios with more and an update on where we are in the project is the Mayor of St. Pete, Mr. Bill Foster. Thank you so much for coming in.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for the invite.
Wonderful. So many folks have questions about this. What are some of the things that they'll be able to do once it's completed? What makes you excited about the new the lens project?
Well, I'm excited about the lens because it is iconic. We got to this point after a great deal of public input, but to answer specifically what are people going to do when they get out there, I don't know yet because we're still engaging the public. There is a lot of public dialogue as to what people want to see and do once they get 300 yards out over the water.
And you were saying earlier that this is not a process that's new to the city. This is something that's been years in discussion. Give folks an idea of how long this has been going on.
Yeah, well, the process is new because we haven't built a pier out there since the 70s, and then before that it was the 1920s. But our engineers came to us probably 10 years ago when I was on the city council talking about the end of the useful life of the pier itself. And there's really two structures. One is the pier and the big box that goes around what we call the pier head. And that was built in the 1920s. So we're going on concrete that was poured almost 90 years ago. Wow. And then we have the inverted pyramid structure that is sitting on four 1970s circa caissons. And so those are going on 40 years old. And what needs to be replaced absolutely now is the 1920s concrete. So that encompasses the bridge, the pier head, and everything you see out there with the exception of, say, the four elevator banks, the plastic tube, and some stairways on the other side. So this process, again, started about 10 years ago. We engaged a task force of architects and community leaders. They met probably 50 times, got a lot of public input. They recommended an international design competition, jury selection process.
Right. Yeah.
Still more public engagement as far as programming, so that's kind of where we are now in the process.
Do you think that the folks there is a group that would like to put this on the referendum, would like for voters to decide, vote on it at the polling place?
And the Vote on the Pier group, they've done a great job getting a lot of information out there. That now, I do dispute some of it, but they've done a wonderful job really engaging the public. The whole thing comes down to the condition of the pier, the inverted pyramid, and what's it going to cost to renovate, to bring that inverted pyramid up to a 2013 building code. That's asbestos removal, cast iron, mechanical, plumbing, electrical, replacing all of the glass in the windows to a current hurricane standard.
It's very complex.
And ADA compliance, FEMA requirements well, you know, the first floor would have to be somewhat elevated. And that is not replacing 36,000 square feet of retail, which is on the first floor, which is sitting on 1920s concrete, which has to come out anyway. So, you know, we can go back and forth on how much all of that's going to cost, but we know it's going to exceed the $50 million budget to put all of that back in. And so we have to do a better job as a city to get the facts out. We have a website. You can go to stpete.org and click right on the pier. You can see pictures of what it looks like now underneath and exposed rebar and give people an idea of the condition. And then really, where do we go from here? The lens is iconic. It is a signature piece. It's a work of art. And it could be the brand for the next 50 years. But we need to get the information out there.
Well, thank you for coming in. You have to come back and give us an update.
I will do that.
The mayor referred to a website. We'd like to give you that website again so that you can get as much information as you'd like on the project. Visit stpete.org/Pier Design. Thanks for watching, everybody.